What's going on, gang? We're back. We are back on the So Rare streets. Actually, I'm going to leave this as the backdrop here. Let's leave that instead of the blue waves, even though it says above the cap. We're talking baseball here. We got Jumpshoot back again. Jumpshoot, how are we doing, sir?
Hey, I'm good. How are you doing, Mike? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for being back, man. If this is your first time hanging out with us here on the baseball side of stuff, do us a favor, just subscribe to the So Rare channel. Whether you're on YouTube or Twitch, we're also live on the Elite Fantasy Sports channel, which I run, where we do just all things So Rare and fantasy sports. And today we did basketball. What was it? 2 hours ago, we did a basketball show. We're doing some baseball now. And I'm gonna be honest, Jumpshoot. I really wanted that Dodgers series to end last night, and Yamamoto not really interested in Yama pitching well.
Yeah, he disappointed a lot of people. He seemed like the chalky play
He
going into
did,
this, knowing that you were just going to get at least one game out of
yeah.
that series as well. So, yeah, only getting nine, at least it wasn't negative, like our man Rodon did, I think,
Oh yeah, he gets
early on
smoked.
too. So, but yeah, having a pitching performance like that's very difficult. And like, yeah, for the people that went full like crazy too, I know Pascal Wisdom from So Rare Edge is like, hey, I'm just gonna fly my flag and go with Scooble.
Mm-hmm.
And so he threw him in his bi-weekly saying, hey, I think there's a outside shot that there's a game five. He pitches for that. Or, I guess if game four gets desperate, maybe throw him in there as well. So
Yeah,
kudos to him. Still could be a great pitching. And I think Kirby as well for Seattle is scheduled to go. So, and
yep.
then that just makes that next series set up a lot differently as well. And that was kind of what was cool about seeing these wild card series go out. The Yankees kind of coming in a little bit gassed because they, had to pull out all the stops essentially to get that three-game series win. So
Right.
I thought that was a pretty interesting dynamic and kind of like to see the three-game wild cards as opposed to only the two.
Yeah, it was funny. I was going back and forth yesterday because I will go over some lineups and where we're at right now. And, there was a lot of speculation that either the second game week was going to be one that was dropped. And now, like the third game week, I thought for a second that was going to be the more popular one dropped because it seemed like a lot of these series were wrapping up. And I wasn't surprised to see the Yankees force the second game. But for the Mariners one, that seemed to be the edge, right? Like play some
Yep.
Mariners, play some Tigers, and it has paid off. But now I'm like a little nervous that you're right. The game theory of it all of like, let's just throw Scooble, see what happens if we get to game five. That being said, the Mariners seem to like hit Scooble, so who knows? But he's just got such upside. And when like you mentioned with the chalkiness of Yamamoto, that's why I like these when we get down to this type of contest where there's only a handful of games. Everybody's going in a similar direction, and you can just be a little bit different. That's not crazy. It's not like you're starting a fifth starter for a team. You're just saying like, hey, what if this goes game five and now I get an ace? You all of a sudden have a massive edge where everybody else is going in the same direction. And I was a little mad at myself. I was honestly mad at myself before Yamamoto even took the mound because I started like scrolling through lineups and I was like, man, I'm not even going to be gaining any ground in this. Like, you're just kind of hoping people don't pass you with other starters now. So, but we'll see because like the series could flip even, or the standings of like the scoring could flip even more if we do see the Phillies pull out another one. Or the Cubs, like the Cubs forcing a game. Right, they're in game three right now, right? It's a 2-1 series with Brewers and Cubs.
They're headed to a game four essentially. They were up. The Brewers were up 2-0, and then Cubbies won at home, essentially forcing a game four.
That's right. The bats finally woke up. I'll pull up the schedule here for the next couple of days. So just to remind people, so we have 2 games today, and then do we have no baseball on the 10th, and then the 11th we have. I'll pull it up. I don't know why I'm
No, the
speculating.
10th essentially is the Seattle Detroit game. So that's the AL. So today we've got the NL teams essentially. So it kind of goes to show you just how big the Dodgers and the Philly market are because those are going to get slotted in at the 6 p.m. slot. And then the
Right.
Cubbies are playing late at 9 p.m., which you have a couple. I mean, 8 o'clock,
Yeah.
I guess, isn't the latest start, but I mean, it is a quote
That's a
unquote school night,
Yeah,
so.
that is pretty late. So today we've got I believe it's Sanchez and Glass now, right? Sanchez and Glass now
Yep.
are pitching or is slated to start anyways. And then we've got a rematch of game one, I think, right, with Matt Boyd and Freddie Peralta in this other series. So that's what we have tonight. And now again, this is both this is the second game for both of these series in the game week that we're currently in. And then on Friday, we'll get the Tigers and Mariners. And then depending on the results of tonight's stuff, we might get some more action on Saturday. And I think for me personally, I will be rooting for these series to close out tonight. Like, I don't think I want game fives just for my own personal bags.
No relievers still left in it, kind of thing.
No, I mean, I've got here. I'll pull up my lineup right now, which I really was sitting pretty early. I thought people might have been just butthurt enough with Aaron Judge that they weren't going to go back, and then
Oh, I
assumed,
was that person. I was
yeah,
fading him hard, and I was like, "Oh, damn it! Of course, this is the one positive regression week, where it's like there was, oh, Aaron Judge, not so bad in the playoffs, not so bad."
dude. Well, I actually like went the route of I still think he's bad in the playoffs. So I was like, congrats, you. I was like, you waited till you were down 0-2 and then you hit a home run to force another game and then just get waxed. But like, so I threw Yamamoto in there along with Gilbert in the flex as my two SPs. Munoz. So I got Munoz going, and then I'll have Cal, Julio Rodriguez, and Randy Rosarena. And man, J Rod has been just
Yeah, he's been
killing
hurt.
me. Yeah, this game weekend. And then I almost got bailed out with a stolen base. He was like, I was watching some of that game yesterday, and he basically had I think Polanco was up, and he went on like 3 consecutive pitches that Polanco fouled off. And he had just like the most insane jump. And every single time it was like a clear stolen base. But yeah, so this was a little bit of a bummer for me as we go over to let's just like go over to the championship standings as
That's
a
still a
whole.
pretty nice overall. I mean, yeah, Munoz still has a really good shot to get a hold or save as well. I mean, J Rod still with more points potentially. Yeah, you're going against Scooble, so it's hard, but you never know with those
Yeah.
games. The final winner take all kind of games.
I always forget how to check the full leaderboard. I do this every single.
Oh yeah.
I think it's like I do this every single time where like I'll click. I can do it on mobile very easily, and then when we get to the desktop, I always forget how to do it here. Oh, maybe rewards if we.
I'm in fifth overall right now, but yeah, kind of still a little disappointed with that after coming out number two out of the gates. Was pretty surprising, but was pretty fun as well. And then just the pressure. I remember the August chase after a while. I was in first after like 2 or 3 consecutive game week locks. I'd
Yeah,
kind of gotten up there and was at the top, and then there's this like delirium that can set in. Maybe it's just me, but it's like what is like you start just second guessing yourself and questioning up and down and left and right, and that's where projections help. But hey, I like those projections, but I still want to take some of my gut. But how much of that is too much? And then yeah, you
right.
worry about kind of getting too cute or trying to finesse something where it's like idiot go with Aaron Judge because he's the highest projected guy.
I know, right? Oh,
So
sorry. This is so frustrating. I switched to cumulative, and it's still when I go to full leaderboard, it's still showing me. What if I look up? Actually, let me try this. Sorry, I know this is a
no,
pain in the
you're
ass.
good. There you
But
go.
yeah, you're right. It is very
Mhm.
easy
See
to.
full leaderboard at the bottom. There's a button all the way at the bottom. The judge. Judge was 50. The judge.
There we go. Wait, what are you seeing?
So if you went back to, I was looking back. So at the bottom, I thought there was a full leaderboard in your previous one. So you
There
have to go
was,
to my lineups championship. Oh,
but it keeps sending me to October 7th through the 11th. Let me see.
dismiss. Yeah, I don't see that. I see what you're saying too on my desktop.
Yeah, man, that's pretty annoying because I wanted to break down some of that. Um, for the cumulative though, so where are you sitting right now in the cumulative? Did you say
I am
fifth?
fifth overall at 603 points. Leader, the Bolo has 702. I've got a playoff glass now to give away if anybody wants to do a giveaway, if we want to type
Oh,
that in the
there you
chat or
go.
something.
There
So
you go.
I don't
Playoff
know if we
glass
like
now.
something like the Yankees lose or if we want to do
Yeah, we
playoff
can
glass
hear.
now.
Here, I'll pull one up. Yeah, why don't we'll just do
If there's anybody
glass.
here,
What'd you say?
if there's anybody here with us, I don't know, chat looks empty, so
Yeah,
I didn't
chat's quiet
advertise.
today. You know a funny thing. Oh no, we get some people here though. We see some people over in the silver. We get Fury up in here. Fury's up in here. Yeah, you can like the stream, subscribe to the channel, and then put hashtag glass now into the chat. That'll be for a giveaway. And then I need to figure out how to find this cumulative leaderboard. I know we've done it before. I know we've done it before. You're sitting in fifth right now. And it is kind of like it's starting to spread out a little bit where right now fourth place is at 611 points
Mhm.
and 10th place is 584. So it's starting to spread out a little bit. Right now I'm sitting in 22nd with 573. And so if I get like
Nice.
a solid Seattle performance there from Cal, Julio specifically, because I do think there's a lot of Cal in front of me, but Julio and a Rosarena, I think were my two more unique pieces. I think that could help jump me up because I do think one of the problems you're going to run into here as we move on, as we get to like less teams, I think it's going to be harder to make up ground. And then you kind of have to decide, are you going to just play the chalk and stay where you're at? Or do you get a little bit more aggressive to play? Like for example, Jumpshoot, if you're like in fifth right now and you know like the lineups in front of you probably have similar galleries, right? Are you going to just try to stay the course, finish like top 10 and move on? Or would you get a little weirder here?
Well, and then we only have 3 game week locks left after this too, which is kinda crazy.
Right.
What's and I guess you can't really see the, lineups that they're entering as well, so that's gonna be kinda difficult, especially for the World Series trying to go with, like that 7 potentially 7-week lock at once essentially,
Right.
as well. So, I think, yeah, for more of the people at the top, I think you can roll more chalk and not have to get too crazy. There is a bit of variation. I think we do distill down quite a bit now with especially a lot less teams. I feel like 8 teams is still a lot of fun. We're about to
Right.
go to 4 teams, and that's going to really whittle down options, best plays. I mean, we already saw with this last week. Hey, Gilbert and Yoshi were basically the top 2 plays. So I think there's going to
Exactly.
be more things where people take those type of putts or kind of relatively high ceiling, low floor type of plays. And yeah, you get rewarded for going with Scoobles, but again, it could blow up in your face and Scooble never comes up and you go end up with a big zero kind of thing there as well.
Well, I think
Um,
what'll be interesting now, like let's just assume the favored let's just assume Seattle moves on. Let's just for the sake of conversation, obviously Detroit's got a chance. But the Dodgers move on and the Phillies move on, right? So that would give I mean not the Phillies, the Dodgers and the Brewers. So that would give us Dodgers and Brewers and it would give us Blue Jays and Seattle. Off the
yep.
top here, my guess is everybody would be playing a Seattle pitcher. Like even though Toronto's offense has been lights out, I'm just thinking of like a Logan Gilbert probably gets thrown again, and then is it another Dodger or is like maybe it won't be as concentrated for starting pitching because maybe you throw a Saint. I mean, I guess you have to throw somebody in game one for the slight
Hoping
chance
they
that
get back up again. I have the schedule broken down too on
yeah. You
my
want to pull that up?
so yeah, I'd be happy to do that. Let's see here. I think I shared screen.
I don't have
See.
anything of yours to add on right now.
Let's see here.
There's something that says Jumpshoot PC, but I can't add
Yep.
it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see
Maybe
here.
just maybe take it down and then try to pull it back up again.
All right. Let's see here. Oh, wait. Let's see. Share screen. Share screen. And we'll just do entire screen.
Let's
Oh, wait.
see.
Also share audio. I don't want to also. Oh, it's not letting me share it. It only has cancel.
Let me see.
Why can't you?
I'm gonna try to kick that. Hopefully I don't kick you completely out. I'm gonna
Oh,
try to
wait. I
kick
can
this.
think I can do it now. Here, let's see here.
Okay, yeah, there we go. But right now it looks like Inception, so I'll wait till you
Okay,
pull up the right.
so
Here we go.
actually, boom,
And
here we go. This doesn't look
okay.
very entertaining, but I guess for some of us here that like to plan or whatnot, this is where we're at essentially right here and about to go into Columbus Day, also Indigenous Peoples Day.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what's important about this next game week is we've got 3 AL teams that are going to play and only 2 NLCS games before the new game week starts again on Thursday. So that's
Okay.
where, yeah, going with probably a closer or something like that as well from the ALCS. I don't think you're going to see 2 starting pitchers. I think
No, not if it's
appearance
only
in
three
here as
games. Yeah.
well. And then even in the NLCS, I mean, I doubt you'd see somebody from game 3. I mean, potentially they could show up in game 7 again, and that'd kind of be a high risk play. But yeah, with the Brewers Dodgers, you would think that probably doesn't go. 7 games all in all. I mean, Milwaukee looked great against them in the regular season, but Dodgers has been a lot different. But then, yeah, World Series essentially it starts on the 24th. That's where potentially those game one starters. You can see you have at least 2 days break before that starts after the game seven, so a little bit of time for people to get healthy, get your ace ready, which I think is great
But
as
so
well with that.
and then for that series then too, I mean, you could even the game two pitchers could get a second. A set,
Yeah,
right? 'Cause-
they could get a second start. They could also come out of the bullpen if things get weird
yeah.
as well. And that's where whoever wins out of Seattle and Detroit will be going to Toronto, the Blue Jays, because they've got the top overall seed in the AL. And then the Dodgers or the Phillies. Will they be going to Milwaukee? But then if the Cubs win, things could get a little bit interesting with either Philly or LA. But yeah, you'd think LA in theory wins, and then the Brewers go, and it's Brewers Dodgers essentially, and the
So
NL would be common thinking.
let's game it out again, assuming that those four win, that the Dodgers move on, the Brewers move on, and then we'll say Seattle for sake of conversation with the Blue
Mhm.
Jays. Who do you think would be the two most popular pitchers used for because again, like that AL will be most popular for like hitters just because of the extra game. But for pitchers, where that's not necessarily the case for starters anyways, who do you think would be the most popular guys?
I think Snell would have to be up there, right, from
Hmm.
LA. He's looked really dominant. Freddie going against the Dodgers lineup, that's probably a little difficult. The Brewers have a great home hitting park too, and so the Dodgers have a hitting park as well. So that kind of gives you a pause a little bit there. I mean, everybody's kind of good, but now you're just kind of looking for like the little grains that differentiate
Well,
a little bit in
and
between.
And what I was going to say here too, with that like line of thinking, Freddie is going tonight, so he's probably not
Yeah,
ready
you're right.
for game one, and that's more incentive for the Dodgers to wrap stuff up tonight because then otherwise Snell won't go too. So like, there's still a lot at play here. But okay, so you think Snell would be one of the more popular ones?
I think so. I mean, it's interesting too because Toronto as well, fairly decent hitting park, but then that third game at Seattle, pitcher might not be named yet, but you try and go out on a limb and say, okay, maybe it would be, go through their rotation, say pitcher X as well. It's still a little bit too early to do that for me comfortably as well. I like to wait a little bit closer. Um, for that. But yeah, just one of those as well. And this is one where I guess with 3 games as well, a closing pitcher and a starting pitcher spot is probably a little bit too risky
Yeah.
as well. If it's somebody that they really know goes all, but yeah, you really need to get those closing appearances as well for it.
So,
So that's where, yeah, this is kind of the matchups. We've got 6 tonight, 9, and then 8. Yeah, and then possibly on Saturday if needed. But then we go right into Sunday as well. Let's see here. This is where Mr. Pascal Wisdom from the Sheets essentially has done daily projections essentially for today as well. So like Shohei Otani's projecting for the top spot for daily score according to his projections, and then down the line
mhm.
as well for the starting pitchers. We got Mr. Sanchez, and that was the one thing with Crochet going out too, was having his relief pitcher essentially go away, especially for some of these shorter game weeks as well. If you had a Crochet as well that you could throw instead of some of these
Right.
relief pitchers would be um,
I
really
do.
nice as well.
I think one way, because again, I'm thinking more, and maybe it's too reactionary, but I'm thinking more about how the Yamamoto situation. And that's going to be even more prominent as we move down to 4 teams, where it's just like everybody's playing the same guy. We have yet, like in all of the playoff shows that I've done, have yet to talk about a Toronto starting pitcher.
Now
And I think
Gausman.
I know, and
Yeah.
I'm like Gausman, Bieber, like whoever. I don't know if they're going to get Barrios back, but I don't. I imagine he's not starting if they
You
do get
savage. You savage.
who doesn't have a card, right?
Yeah, who doesn't have a card? He's a rookie or whatnot. I
And
saw a mashup, 2 of them throwing yesterday to the Yankees, and all the arm slots that they
yeah,
had coming out of all the different guys on the
it's
right. It was
crazy.
kind of like a little bit of a rainbow, which was pretty cool.
I saw a great tweet that was like, "Oh yeah, and you're you're telling me the Blue Jays aren't cheating? Then explain this," which I thought was really funny.
Well, and I
And
guess too, it's kind of like if a guy's on second and you can see the grip and he relays it to the guy on at home, like that's not cheating. Like you have the pitch com. It's not like somebody's banging on kind of drum
No, right,
in
right.
the bullpen, or
He,
like
yeah,
in the
I,
dugout.
I
So
think that the tweet was saying that it looked like it was 9 guys pitching simultaneously because it was
oh,
the video of like all the arms. But I
but yeah,
do
the
think
relaying when they lift their arm or whatever, it's like, hey, if you're showing that to a runner behind you, like that's on you, dude. Like
right,
that's like part of the game, in my opinion, as
right,
opposed to
right. Here,
like
I
bad
see a
sportsmanship.
question here from Weisberg was like, if you believe the Jays have a real chance at the World Series, would you be selling players now to hedge or hold on to these guys and wait till the market picks up for the World Series? I just like with I don't know how aggressive people are going to be on the market picking up cards because my guess is like if you're not like sitting in the top 20, top 50, are you going to be super aggressive on the market?
Probably. I mean, I think a lot of eyes have transitioned away too from that, even just the primary market. So secondary market's also very hard. And
Right.
with this just new idea of like entry tickets now too, it's like, okay, I could buy a playoff card, but now it'll be like three more tickets, unless I have it for this greater good. I think it's kind of nice because some of them you have the collection score if that matters
Hmm.
at all, so you can get them for really dirt cheap. I won a rare judge card, and there's a lot of these like floor rare cards that are special edition 50 points, so help boost up his percentage point just a little bit. So
That's nice.
but yeah, I guess it's kind of like if you're into it with that. Let's see, what else was I gonna go and do?
Well, I
So
want to
yeah,
just
speaking of auctions, I guess go ahead.
no, I just want to save that pitcher conversation just because I think that's interesting game theory. Like I do think like Gaussman, obviously you might be sacrificing some real ceiling there, right? Where by pitching a Gaussman over a Sanchez, over a Snell or whatever is a little bit dicier. But if you're telling me that like 80% of the people ahead of me are throwing Snell,
Yeah.
and I throw Gaussman. And listen, I've seen Snell throw 125 pitches in 5 innings before. Like he's awesome strikeout pitcher, but obviously can like run the pitch count up pretty easily. And I mean, like all it takes is the Brewers, who have been a very good and pesky offense that can like elongate bats at bats and raise pitch counts. All it takes is like 2 pesky innings like that, and you see Snell go, whatever, 5 innings, 6 Ks, maybe he gets a win, maybe not. But by playing a Gaussman, if he outscores him, all of a sudden you're kind of like lapping because the field because like I think to me that type of pivot is a little bit more interesting than than playing the bottom of the order. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think SP variation. That's a great point with it. I mean, with Snell too, he traditionally has let some people on too, and then yeah, with Brewers, hey, we're going to run on you, we're going to antagonize you, make it more difficult, try and win it through small ball, and just get a guy over, even if it's by error or some other reason. The wheel play that the Dodgers ran the other day was pretty wild on Philly. I don't know if you caught that. They had like a runner that was going from second to
Yeah.
third, and then yeah, threw a bunt and got chased down through Mookie, which was pretty incredible and fun to watch, kind of thing
Yeah,
too.
that was wild.
So, but
But
yeah, it just like put pressure on them too. So it's like, and again, having that variation, I think too, can be good to have and can be a bit of a smart play when you're not taking too big of a risk. I think pitchers at home tend to do a little bit better too,
mhm.
versus on the road. Like all the bumps, the mounds aren't the same, park to park as well. So that's something where, and then just, yeah, being more in your routine kind of thing as opposed to, hey, I took a trip, we're on a different time zone, not quite as familiar. But with Scooble, it's like, hey, you were just there like, how a week ago. So
Right.
a little bit more familiarity, but then also the hitters have also seen you a lot more
Mhm.
too, kind of thing. So
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Like I wish there was like more data on it, but I just how people are going to approach it. Like, or do you think we see more one-off like bats? Like we're like, okay, I'm just gonna take my best hitter. So I'm gonna take my best Blue Jay, I'll take my best Mariner, my best Dodger, whatever. Or are we gonna see people be like, actually, you know what? I mean, I guess the first game week, because it's 3-2, you're probably going to see more of the American League than the National League guys. But I'm just like curious if they're going to be like, all right, give me Cal, I don't know, name another big hitter, whatever. Yeah,
you
I'll
could
just be,
go, yeah, well, Wilson Contreras, but or Polanco essentially. He was really hot against Scooble essentially.
yeah,
So
he
I
was
actually took him for
2
this last
bombs.
game week, and he kind of blew up in my face a little bit. I was like, oh man, I should have gone with Gino or whatnot.
Yeah. A-
So,
And then I wonder too, sorry,
but
one
yeah,
more
this
like
was
game
my
theory thing.
yeah, go.
And then I wonder if we see like these postseason games typically, especially when we get into the games, because it'll be like games 1, 2, and 3 for the American League, and then games 1 and 2 for the National League. Like,
Yep.
yes, it is one extra game, but it also, you're going against the top half of the rotation in a lot of these situations. Like, and if no one is playing the National League, all it takes is one game, getting to 9 or 10 runs,
Yep.
and then you're again leapfrogging all of the ownership that is put in the American League. I think I would still focus on the games played over that. Like, I think I'd prefer to just get different at pitcher than I would at hitter for that reason, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like a pitcher and the hitters can go negative, like like J Rod, like we saw, or
Jeez.
Polanco as well.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh man, I was debating my one of my first builds. I had Gino in the center, and then I went to Cal, and I was like, oh, Polanco's been so hot, I should throw him, kind of thing. So,
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, you try and big brain it and go smart with everything, and it just, yeah, it's baseball, and that's why it's kind of fun. And yeah, it's just like, hey, yelling at this game or engaging with this game where, hey, normal Orioles fan, okay, what are you
Yeah.
really watching baseball for anymore? But they've been some really fun games to watch and to
Yeah, they've
cheer
been
on
great
as well.
series.
And the whole, like, yeah, the dump it here 61 guy
That's great.
as well. That was, yeah, really cool to see as well. So
That was really funny.
but yeah, it's looking like this has potential to be my lowest week, but we'll kind of see as well. I guess never say never. Things can kind of get weird. And you're
Yeah.
right, bats can get kind of quiet as well. So it's just one of those where you never really know. And yeah, you go with that.
Yeah, I'm seeing. This is gonna probably. I scored 234 the first game week, 186 last game week, and then I'm at 152. But again, with three batters and a reliever going tomorrow, so who knows? Hopefully that gets up over 186. But I was just thinking, so they haven't dropped it in the score in the full leaderboard, right? So that we won't know what the drop score will be until we get to the very last game week, right?
I would think that once the World Series score overtakes your lowest, that it would
That
automatically do it. But I don't. Yeah, yeah. You basically it's best 6 of 7 until
yeah.
you have that game week 7 score. And these
Okay.
have been rolling cumulative, which is pretty fun too. So
Yeah.
credit to So Rare for doing that as well. Of like, hey, this is live. You can see there's still 5 people left on the Bolos score as well, and like yeah, Link still has 6 as well, which is really cool. So
Yeah, Lobolo has just been cooking out the gate. Are we ready? 268, finished ninth, second, and then eighth. Just
geez,
absolutely cooking. And he still has Munoz, Cal, and Julio Rodriguez
yep.
going as well. So that lead is going to continue to grow, assuming this gets above 251. But
Yeah, top 10 finishes is pretty incredible,
yeah,
so
that's wild. Without doing anything too, I mean, just having Vlad. Like, I think being early on the Vlad playoff experience has paid him off. Um, or I feel like you were gonna start going in a different direction, and then I kept talking about game theory. Was there something else you were trying to hit there?
do.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
just interesting with the market dynamics too. Once
Hmm.
a team gets eliminated as well or whatnot, and then even after a lock, it's like okay, it's used for a lot less time as well. So
Hmm.
it just market credits are still here. They won't be here. They're not like boxes anymore, so we can't really save them as much for the mass majority of people. So seeing that play out has been kind of interesting. I've scooped a couple here or there as well where I just like can't help myself where I'm like, okay, this is just like too cheap or just a little bit of as much as well. So
Yeah,
um,
are you actively poking around the marketplace? Like, are you looking for stars that are just being like that are wildly too cheap right now?
that's what happened essentially today when I was mowing the yard a little bit. I had a timer go off and I saw the Shohei auction and I got one for yeah, sub $15 after market credit. So I figured, hey, why not kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I've have a few as well. So that's one of these. Hey, if these are entry tickets, maybe not as good, but it seemed like in NBA as well, we kind of got to this point where we got this very saturated as well. But then afterwards, it kind of settles down and
Hmm.
stars kind of rise to the top again. And that's where, as well, with some of these as well, they've really helped me. My goal going into the season was never to, hey, I'm going to climb these leaderboards and get to like the number one Yankees overall collections, but they've had so many different special promos that I've gotten these minimum bids essentially for them.
Yeah.
And especially now, it's like, okay, Cody Bellinger Like you're not really going to be using him until next season as well. So some of these other accounts, like you'll buy number one, so they'll have a lot of them early on. And again, it's like a different way. And again, those I think those collections as well, in some eyes, are a lot more valuable as well. As like, hey, I'd rather have a number one, or I'd rather have special cards or animated cards as opposed to other ones too. But that was just something too that I don't know. I've been kind of poking around with too, is like, hey, some of these guys that I want, or maybe get one for a vault as well. Yeah, Ben Rice with the catcher eligible now, as opposed to the other ones where they don't necessarily have that.
Hmm.
There are some market dynamics too, where if you buy like at a lower price, the instant buy will go down considerably as well.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's again, if you have market credits and you really want to spend stuff, it's like, or if you see, hey, somebody floored one, it got bought, instant buy price kind of gets cut down a little bit too. There's this Chase Burns that, yeah, I scooped up on auction for 12 and a half bucks the other day. We're just like, okay, this is going to be somebody that's going to be nice going into next season to kind of have. And
Yeah, that's
then,
a
yeah, I
good
was
call.
going for a bit more kind of previously as well. So if you have people like that, you know, young guys that you like to see, I mean, we still have energy. I guess my biggest like concern would be like, okay, if they start to throttle it back a bit, and you can only use so much at one time. Because I've built up quite the plethora of it throughout. Like I'm close to 5,000 limited energy right now, almost
Wow.
2,000 rare. So yeah, going into next season, hey, pretty well set on that. I think with the playoffs, like it was definitely like scaled back quite a bit, but like Essence as well got scaled back a bunch. And then it's just funny that like some people are like, okay, I want to finish further back so I get the XP, so then I can XP my cards as well. So I
Oh,
think it'd just be nice to review that and like say, okay, maybe we should just reward more XP at the top if people want
yeah.
that, because it should be something easy to give to folks a little bit.
I
So.
didn't even think about that. That is interesting.
This
I'll
Miz
be
as
on.
well was like 33 bucks. Excuse me, go ahead.
No, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, with this Miz, basically, I instant bought this guy too, but he had an auction. Yeah, look at that. $8 basically went on auction. Then I was like, okay. And another
Wow.
one for 18 bucks. So it's like kind of still randomly getting these auctions off. But the Miz could be interesting because he's one of those relievers that's in a starting pitcher role, or no, starting pitcher that's in a reliever role, kind of more middle as opposed to closer. But
Hmm.
if the Brewers go as opposed to the Dodgers as well, could be kind of interesting. But yeah, the auctions are kind of just like, I don't know, it's just interestingly timed where they'll go off on the weekend sometimes and then come back. And then it seems like they've been a little bit like more consistent or a little slowed down a little bit more too. I think as like teams have been eliminated, like we don't have like Reds or Red Sox going through
Right.
the active auctions, which I think is good. But then, yeah, you just kind of keep concentrating it down to these few teams. But people do need pieces to play with if they don't have them already.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'll be honest. I forgot they were still doing auctions. Like I knew that they were still available on instant buy, and I wish I would have been monitoring the auctions. Like I assumed those kind of paused while we were mid series, and that feels like a mistake on my end, not monitoring it, especially as like I'm going to continue to still have to scoop some people up because I've been trying not to buy too many of these postseason cards, and then like prior to, which I know this is the more expensive way to do it instead
Mhm.
of trying to speculate, but before each game week, I'm just kind of looking at it and being like, okay, what financially is like, what is a piece that I need? And how can I do that responsibly? Because I thought the Padres were going to win that first round matchup. And so I was like, let me just get Tatis Machado. I'll ride that out. I was like hopeful the Red Sox would pull it out. And I had Crochet and Trevor Story. So then I had to turn around. I think, what did I get? I think I got some Seattle guys this time around. I think I got Gilbert and Kirby maybe, or Kirby and somebody else, but a Rosarena, I think. Um,
Yeah, Randy's nice, right at the top of the order, man. He had a good game week. He's having a good game week this week.
Yeah, what I like, I mean, like if you
Oh,
luck into a Randy home run, that's cool. But what I like about Randy is he just gets, if he gets on base, he can swipe a bag and score a run. And so even if that's, not like the quick 14 in a bomb, at least he can like chip away, 6 or 7 at a time. And I thought Rodriguez would do that too, especially he started so hot in that series. He was like 4 for 9 through games 1 and 2, and then I think he's made contact like twice since then.
Yeah, him and Polanco too. Polanco looks so good against Skubal, and it's just kind of like, yeah, sometimes it just looks so good, and then just,
Yeah.
and that's it. Regression, basically, positive and negative regression. Okay, so you're down bad, you'll regress back to where
Right.
you used to be. Okay, you're super hot. Odds
Yeah.
are you're going to regress back. So factoring in some of that and planning on some of that can sometimes be good. Of like, hey, there's no way. And then yeah,
Yeah.
the pitching is just next world here, and then hey, they've got enough, information on you to, hey, we're going to throw this reliever in too to make it more difficult to you, especially if you're like a J Rod type
Right.
player, Vladdy or somebody like that too. Just because, yeah, you mean the world to that lineup. Yeah, and I think it's a great point of like, hey, right before lock trying to go out and look like looking now kind of thing. Like lock's going to be on Sunday, I believe, essentially. So we still don't know. I mean,
Hmm.
this PCA essentially, okay, a buck 50 if you've got credits or whatnot, but again, likely to be eliminated. But some of these guys that have these, like, I don't know, bats or whatnot, and it's kind of with Scooble too, having the pitcher with the
Hmm.
ball as well as like, hey, he's the number one. I think that was a great call by So Rare as well. And then, yeah, I just, the other thing too with like the whole transition to the Soul Chain is kind of interesting. And I don't know. It just seems like, yeah, it won't really impact us in theory too much, but yeah, might be good overall for So Rare in the community, I
Yeah. It
guess the
sounds.
back end as well. So
I haven't heard any negative feedback on it. It seems like it's pretty positive all around. Um, well, I know. Yeah, I haven't really wrapped my head around it too much, just because that's above my pay grade. But it sounds like people are pretty happy about it.
it's like, come on,
Um,
Roham, where's Flo? Come on,
I
you could
yeah,
have
yeah,
pitched your
right,
thing. They've been
right.
like, oh, it's 5,000 to port over there. Well, we'll charge you $500 or $50 or whatever. So,
Yeah. One of
but
the I wanted to go back to like because you were talking
and this
about.
Miz too, like Miz is down here, like so that's a thing too. It's like instead of like a lot of times, what I will do is I'll look on this and I'll see who's bidding. And again, if it's like a homie, like be like, hey, try not to outbid. Oh, look at that, man! Our man, So Rare, it's Pascal Wisdom. Yeah, I'm not going to outbid him.
Oh
Do the
wow,
gentleman's courtesy and say, tip your cap to you. Good luck to your Miz.
wow.
And oh, so the other thing that you can do here, I don't. It used to be a lot easier to see all the cards, so you can click on their name at the top
Hmm.
and then before you could go to the top bar that just said all these cards essentially, but now it kind of lists them on the side. And so you could see, hey, is there another one? There's a buy now here for 340. Or you could see kind of what the instant buy is, which I don't think I see as well. And then there's classic. Oh no, the instant buys right here is so 519 essentially if you wanted to do that instead. But it's kind of nice just to kind of look at the comprehensive list overall of it as well. So it's just kind of like, all right. And I think, I guess that's going back to the soul thing. If it helps people build on it as well,
Oh yeah, I
I thought
think
that was an issue with the API. I know with So Rare Data was like, So Rare changed the API again. And it's like, well, they have to keep changing to evolve. So I get it. But I
right.
can understand if you were like trying to get specific sets of data and all of a sudden it was like jostled around and it changed your
Yeah,
coding around. So I can understand frustration with that too.
yeah. XS was asking if there's any plans for adding more leagues. I'll like listen. I'll stress this that I'm only here to talk like MLB, NBA. I don't
Minor
actually
league
work.
baseball, baby. Let's
Well, I'm
do
just
it.
like, yeah, neither of us work for So Rare, just like the streaming side of stuff. So I can't really speak to it. Would be fun though. Would be
Yeah,
fun.
I'm
Oh,
not in the football streets, so you
yeah.
guys have a ton of leagues there. This is the Major League Baseball, and we're in the playoffs right now, hunting a
Yeah.
World Series. So,
So, okay, I want to go back to let's talk about Mr. Oski there for a second because this was something that I wanted to ask you, and then I need to get
mhm,
back to the lineup stuff, so I don't want to forget that. But
yep.
the when are you playing him now? Because I know this was like a Roki conversation too, right? Like when are you using like a pitcher that has starter eligibility but is a
Ugh.
reliever over someone who is actually starting a game?
So you typically like two saves for this is like my dummy math is like two saves and some Ks is like 40 points. A good start is about 40 points. So if
Mhm.
you think you can get two saves out of one game week, maybe you stick with that reliever. I think then if you can have a chance to get more than two, three saves. Munoz didn't pitch yesterday, but he pitched the
It,
day
it,
before, even though it wasn't a closing situation, I think, or
yeah,
whatnot, right?
no, and I don't think he got maybe he got 1K. He got 8 points. 8 points.
So let's see here. I think.
those like the Roki and
I got it
Misiorowski,
here.
like they're not closers, right? So they're only going to get like the benefit for either of those is that they would be pitching you're hoping they pitch every game.
Yeah, they're well, yeah, they get their relief appearances essentially. And then with Miz, like, okay, you got 57 pitches there. You probably got some Ks in that throwing like 103 heat or whatnot.
Right.
And what's nice about that too is like, okay, he came in relief, he gets that relief appearance and he gets the win and he gets all those Ks and then you get a few innings out of him as well. So he's almost like equivalent, if not better, to a starter. And we kind of saw that with Ben Kasparius a little bit with the Dodgers when Shohei would open.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially Shohei would like if you get an opener and then you get somebody come in behind him that can
You
go
get the relief
length,
appearance.
essentially, you get that relief appearance, and then you kind of almost have it just as good as a starter kind of thing because you got a good shot at the win.
So okay, I understand the math behind it, but I'm saying when are you actually playing him?
Miz, I would play him for sure in the World Series. So for me, he's definitely an outlier play. I'm not going to be like somebody that's like Taylor that's got like a ton of rares or whatnot for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wouldn't necessarily like play him if you've got I don't know if you've got like a Snell or something like that you could necessarily slot in. He's
Okay.
more of a dark horse reliever for me. Um, I think like I guess like I attribute it. Maybe I've got to go back to like the limited streets more for me, and that's where yeah the World Series is really I think where you can get really weird and interesting because it's a 7 game slate
Okay.
potentially.
And that's
Um,
what I was asking because I know like, and I guess what's nice about if you have a Roki
let's see.
and Miz, if they both move on to the next round, then you're like, well, at least I have one of those. But that's what I was curious. Like, if it is a 7 game series, if you assume it goes 7, that still means if you're playing him, you're playing over a starter that's gonna start twice.
Or 6, yeah, even like a 6 game
A
series, right?
six
A
game
game one, even like, yeah, because
even a
6 is
5 game
probably
series.
more likely. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you could go on short rest as well. You might not go for length as well with that, but
Well,
yeah.
if you're pitching game 1, because usually the starters will pitch game 1 and then
Let's
game
see
5,
here.
and then it'll be 2 and 6, and then who knows what happens in 7.
Yeah.
And so they're not playing every day, so that should be normal rest, I would think, between games 1 and games 5. So like, I still think you're probably, like, are you playing Snell who pitches game 1 and game 5, or Roki who maybe makes 6 appearances in a 7 game series?
And that's where your variation can kind of come into play a little bit with it too. And so,
Very,
okay, do
yeah,
I think Snell 2 games or yeah, it's going to be and that's where it's like when get closer to it a little bit, have a little bit more data, I think, behind it as well. But yeah, it is
yeah.
interesting game theory behind it. I haven't totally calculated it out. But yeah, I had Michael Kopech, that was a starting pitcher, but he was a reliever for the Dodgers for the final week last year. World Series game week was very similar. And yeah, he helped me climb to like 7th overall with it, scored a bunch of points for me.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't I mean some of those starters too can take some risk of hey like a Yoshi okay you
Get
get
blown up.
shelled yeah
Yeah.
you go into it you know on paper it looks like the best matchup you
Yeah.
could want essentially and then something like that happens again that could also happen to the relievers though just as easily at the same time too.
Right. But I guess so, like, just because we spent a lot of time talking about Miz and Rocky in the last and Roki in the last 2 weeks,
Yep.
they're only your own like those are that's a World Series play.
I think yeah off the bat now if you wanted to go back to look at divisional series. Okay, the NLCS that starts on Thursday the 16th. You've got games 3 through 7 there. So if for some reason like it was tied up for the NLCS, so it would be like it'd be 1-1 each essentially after
Mm-hmm.
that. If you think for some reason, okay, now there's a shot where it's going to go the distance and
Yeah.
go, I guess, 4 or 5 games, then I think you could also
Okay.
swing a little bit further. I think 3 and under, you're getting a little bit risky, but if you think you could get four games out of them, and again, there's enough rest kind of built in, it seems
Right.
like where they could go.
Well, because I was gonna say the other case for it is if you think it's gonna be a short World Series. If you think like if it's a sweep or in 5, I mean 5's still a little dicey, but that you could play the reliever over the starter too. All right, I got one more thing, and then if you got anything else, we can bop around. Otherwise, we can call it. I was thinking back to the lineup thing and how I was saying like it's probably easier to differentiate from the starting pitching position than it is from the lineup, like from the hitters. And I was thinking a little bit more about it. I still think that's probably true. But I bet, like, say Seattle makes it to the next round, I would say the two most popular plays are probably Cal and Julio, right? And then it's probably a step down, and then I would imagine Randy. But I bet somebody like Josh Naylor and Suarez are a much
Oh,
lower
Gino, yeah.
yeah, much lower owned plays that still have like pretty massive upside. And they're hitting like 5-6. So it's not like they're hitting in the 9 hole or anything. And I don't think they have massive pinch hit risk, because that's something I always get concerned about when playing like lower batting, like lower in the order, or like platoon guys, right? I always think of the Red Sox because they were fucking rolling out Ref Snyder leading off, where it's like, okay, you get 2 at bats and that's it. You can't even play them. So anyways, I was just thinking, like, I do think there is a path to playing different hitters in every single lineup, like you do with the Dodgers, where like somebody like Will Smith's probably way less owned than Freddie, Mookie, Otani.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point with the catchers, and that's
Mm.
one where William Contreras as well with the Brewers
Mm-hmm.
has really came on. He's somebody that's been injured. Will Smith was another one that was injured.
Yep.
Yeah, Will was an issue this year because he'd get like every second or third day off, it felt like.
Yeah.
And so he'd kill your like regular daily fantasy, but he still was slashing like 350 until he got
Right.
hurt and was
Smoking it.
hitting home runs all the time. So yeah, does he return to that form as well? There's a good chance of so. I mean, yeah, you've got a dome in Milwaukee and then favorable conditions in LA if you go back there too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of nice as well. Yeah, it is kind of interesting and think like to fade an entire team. Like, okay, I want Vladdy on it or I don't want
Right.
Vladdy. Bo Bichette might be back as well. So he's
Mm-hmm.
somebody where in season cards might be kind of cheap right now. How much do you really want to risk, trying to go swing on somebody that might be taken out or, hey, don't run
Yeah.
as hard as well. Haven't seen a full diagnostic or run up on him, but I knew he was ruled out for this
Right.
series and then possible rejoining next series as well. Alejandro Kirk, man, that's somebody that's like
Just
dark horse has been
rakes.
smashing, so probably could have bought a few of him at minimum bid prices. So it's always
Yeah.
fun to see guys like that go off too.
Yeah, and that's the more I'm thinking about it, I think I mean, yes, you can still get weird at starting pitcher. And by weird I mean start the number 2 guy instead of the 1 guy. It's not even that weird. I think the
Yep.
Mariners is probably the best place to do that, because I don't think there's a lot of difference between the upside of Kirby and Gilbert. Like, I think that's pretty close. I don't know if Woo's gonna be back in time.
Yeah,
I
and I
don't
just wondered that start at home is what entices me. So it's
for
like I
sure.
wouldn't want the two that go at Toronto, but
Right.
once you go for game 3 back to Seattle, who's going to be that pitcher? Because that's where you're going to get that nice like home field advantage.
Yeah.
The balls are more moist, they don't travel as far, kind of
Hmm.
thing. Toronto's on the road, so a little bit more out of their element as well. So
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm thinking about Toronto too. That's such a fun lineup where like they put up runs, but I guarantee you almost all of the so rare lineups that are playing Toronto guys are Vlad and Springer. And I bet you're very rarely seeing, maybe you get a Kirk in there, maybe you get a Barter in there, but like for the most part,
be nice
those are
to
the 2
see.
guys you're going to get.
Yeah, and that's where it would be nice to see more composition of lineup. I know you brought this up with me
Yes.
too, of just like
I want
how many
ownership.
people are playing these folks as well. So that's funny, man. DJFS, man, had conviction to play Judge, so good for him. But yeah, Julio and Shohei, man, that -1, it
I
hurts so
know.
bad.
But
And
you got to think
Rodon as
like,
well. Oh, and
and yeah,
Yoshi.
but I bet so many lineups had both Judge and Shohei, and then just by doing like, just by not playing one of them, all of a sudden you become very different. And I think that
Yep.
like right now, I don't think that's massively important. But when we get to the ALCS and NLCS and the
Yep.
World Series, that's when I think it matters, because it's like, the variance is so, especially in baseball. I mean, like,
Yep.
yes, Vladdy's so hot right now, and I hope it continues because it's fun to watch. But like, if everybody's gonna play Vladdy, let's play Kirk. Let's do
Well,
something
and
a little
regression,
different.
yeah, regression to mean kind of
Yeah,
thing happens as well. And that's where, yeah, playing some of these dark horses, it does make it a lot more fun as well with it.
yeah.
As well. You're absolutely right.
Because
And
I
then, yeah,
do.
it's going to be an XP battle too with some of these. You can see, yeah, some people just have a couple of these as well. But hey, as auctions have gone on, these cards have gotten cheaper. You can kind of stack more and more of them as well.
Yeah, because I think that's what I'm gonna do. Where like, most of the money is up top. Like, you want that like top 4, that top 3 spot. Where if I'm sitting going into the World Series and like 20th, I think I would I would much rather take a shot that gives me an outside shot at a podium than finish 28th. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah.
fine. I'll finish
$100
60.
still isn't bad, man. Still
No,
not bad.
no, it's still
But
good,
yeah.
especially since I'm burning it into the NBA right now. But that
Hey,
wheel,
somebody's got to keep the lights on. Thank you.
that wheel is incredible over there.
So, oh yeah, I haven't picked my team out there as well. So that's where I was debating if we
Oh
wanted
yeah, go
to
switch it.
take a minute and
Yeah, let's do
see if
that.
we
Let's wrap
can.
with that. Let's do that now.
Let's see here. I've got to go to, I think, my cards, and then it's common or something,
I actually think it's
or
in the market. If you click that,
oh, the market. Thank
yeah,
you. That notification that's trying to get my attention.
yeah,
I'm
the
like,
thing
nah,
that's
nah.
telling you exactly where to go.
So my nearest team is Washington, but it's like they're such bums. I was like, do I just pick like yeah, Nuggets
That's what I
or
picked. Denver.
Pistons?
That's what I had
Yeah.
picked. But yeah, you
All
pick
right. We'll go. Yeah, we'll go. Why not?
whatever you want.
Open. Okay. I've done Christian Braun, baby.
There we go.
So I can skip, I guess. So I waste it? Is that what that means? Or I
No,
just skip through it?
I think it just
Oh,
yeah, I think it'll
gotcha.
just show you all of them.
Jamal Murray, nice. Jonas.
There we go,
Oh, KD,
KD.
there we go. We'll take that. Jabari. He hasn't done a lot since being like a top overall pick. Terry.
Yeah, we had very similar packs here. I don't know.
Rigged.
Yeah,
Rigged.
there. Jaysean Derulo
There we
Tate.
go.
There he is.
Tate. Nice. Wow. Beautiful. Rockets and Nuggets.
There you go. And now, so you should be able to claim. Have you spun the wheel yet or no?
I spun the wheel on the first day, but I have one that I saved as well. So
Yeah,
I can spin the wheel here and hopefully we don't get a miss as well.
Well, I took care of all the misses a little bit earlier today.
I got one to start actually on the first one. So okay. Let's
just
go
back. Yeah, you don't have to create it yet.
All right. Next. Oh, back. Oh, now it wants me to go.
You might be able to just click out of. Oh yeah.
Right, here we go. This Gary Neville dude, this guy's like has some issue, like free speech. I don't know.
Oh no, I don't know if he's partnered with So Rare, so let's not talk about it. I don't know.
He's a former Man U player, so it's football streets. But yes, just not allegedly, not saying anything officially.
Thank you.
Okay. Daily pack. Okay,
so
we get to open this guy now,
too, which is fun.
So, I scrap for Essence, huh? Chris
Yeah,
Dunn.
so you can scrap some Essence.
This Clippers logo, man, is just so weird.
Yeah, it is.
What do you think? Keep him? Scrap him?
Yeah, I keep him. You scrap somebody else.
Oh, we got to keep JB.
Oh, JB, let's go.
He's only 2 stars? Wow. All right. Disrespectful. Plum Dog Millionaire. We got to keep Plum Dog.
You got to keep. Oh, got to keep playing. Let's go.
Yeah, we're getting Zubac.
This is a good. He's a
4-star pack.
Dude, come on, bro.
Wow. All right.
There we go. That's pretty good.
Wow, I got the Zakarian luck here.
Seriously.
Let's go. Influencer. All right, cool. All right, that's what we added to there. Cool, nice. All right, and so every day get a new pack, and then also the wheel of shame.
Yeah, the wheel of shame. Let's spin it.
All right, spin to win, baby. Come on, good luck. Good luck to me.
Come on. Oh, this looks good. This looks good.
100. Let's
go.
XP. Let's go, baby.
Some XP, baby.
You never have enough XP.
That was nice. There wasn't a miss in sight. That was gold.
Thank you. Thank you for that extra help there.
Good W there, Jumpshoot. All right, gang. I think we'll call it there. We got a little bit of everything in today. Appreciate you. Like I'm impressed we did a full hour considering there's like nothing right now.
It's going to get a lot. Yeah, it's going to get even more distilled down too as we go. So
honestly, I think next week there'll be a little bit more fun. Like this is the part that I really like is when it's down like this and just like the game theory that we just talked about. I can have conversations around that all day because I just think that to me is the fun part where it's like, how can I put together a team that projects really well but is different than the teams everyone else is putting together? Because it's very easy to be like, we should play Ohtani, Mookie, Vlad Guerrero, Cal Raleigh, and then we'll throw out Gilbert and whoever. You know what I mean? Like that part's easy, but like how do you get a little different? That's where it's fun for me. Jumpshoot, anything going on you need to plug?
I think things are good. Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. Yeah, thanks for the NBA content. And yeah, thanks for the MLB streets as well. Yeah. Appreciate everybody out there as well having fun still in the streets.
Good luck with your lineups this weekend. We'll be back. We'll have an NBA show next week for the rookies. We'll be back here on Thursday with some baseball next week, and then we'll be down to next time we're here. We'll be down to 4 teams. So appreciate everybody watching for Jump Shoot.